Thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, archangels and ascended masters, for the perfect grace, perfect clarity, and perfect peace that's here for each of us right now. Thank you to the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this opportunity for radiance. We thank you for this opportunity to let the things that are delicate have strength before them and behind them. And we celebrate the angels participating in that goodness right now. We also choose to notice, like for the first time, the glow that surrounds us, our own natural goodness, our own natural radiance. And we choose to recognize that the angels see us in that radiance. And with all of this being present, all this being not so much exposed, but to be revealed, we celebrate who we actually are. And so we see the clarity of this moment. We see cleansing happening right now. We choose to bypass fear and to embrace love. So let's just take in a breath. And we'll just notice what it's like to gently breathe. Wonderful. And as a lovely preview of the work we'll do later, let's notice the author Jane Austen coming forward. If we could just notice her walking through the scene with elegance. And if we could notice her like she did in her writing, like she did in her own behavior, if we could notice her leaving behind the rigidity of the times. So if we could see that for us, that's perhaps a lot of mental rigidity, perhaps emotional rigidity. And if we could just notice what it's like for us to follow Jane and leave some things behind. Leaving behind things that are stuffy, things that are outdated, leaving behind things that very simply are not ours, and allowing great things to happen right now. So we'll just breathe into all of that. Wonderful. And let's, with that very spiritually minded effort and focus of following Jane, let's have a physical experience. Let the two blend. If we could just take in a super deep breath and making a noise with the exhale. Let's do that again. And we'll do that one more time. And with bright eyes and a clear voice, let's say out loud, I'm free of the rules. I release rigidity. I am free. I embrace order. I release chaos. I release the imposed, their wording, Jane's wording, I release the imposed impositions of others. I release the imposed impositions of others. I am flexible and free. To quote Virginia Woolf, I am unfettered by position or possession. I'm unfettered by position or possession. And let's just breathe into all that. It's a very literary time here. If we could just breathe in to all the good words that have been written. Breathing into the presence of genius writers. If we could just breathe into the presence of Jane. If we can notice her, like if you were at a garden party and you took a little turn around the garden with Jane, let's let her hand you off to Archangel Ariel. So if we could just breathe in, and we'll notice the goodness in this moment. And if we could feel what it's like to perhaps walk in the garden arm in arm with Archangel Ariel, and noticing just with the glance that as you walk forward, what you leave behind is old energy. So in the footprints, Behind you, the old is left behind, and you walk forward with clarity, with peace, and with love. And let's indeed walk forward with clarity. Let's say this out loud. I walk forward with clarity, peace, and love. I walk forward with clarity, peace, and love. Wonderful. If we could feel as you stroll with Archangel Ariel, let's very simply notice your crown chakra and your third eye both experiencing a renaissance. Perhaps that's not dramatic, or perhaps you feel that a bit. If we could just notice new thoughts, new energy, new expansion entering, and there being room for those new thoughts and new energies. That there's a perfect integration that happens, and there's an absence of fear. So let us lovingly breathe into all this goodness, all this peace, all this love, and all this joy right now, and knowing and embracing that goodness is here. And we choose to feel good about this goodness. So let us breathe into all that. Wonderful. And if we could notice Archangel Ariel perhaps at a pause, just notice her moving energy off of your legs. And if we could feel that that takes a second, and let's notice her activating with touch all the muscles in your legs, all the muscles in your around your joints, like knees and hips, everything working perfectly. The muscle that is your heart being acknowledged and invigorated. Your arms, your torso, your lungs, your organs, your head, your neck. Activated with touch. And if we could let her do the same with your emotions, with your thoughts, invigoration, and with your energy field, invigorated. If we could say out loud, I am invigorated, I am free. I release focusing on obstacles. I focus on freedom. I am free. I'm deliciously free. Wonderful. If we could just breathe in. And Ariel's asking us to say this to finish, or to go along with Dr. King's thought. If we could say out loud, I am free at last. I am free. My life is the answer to a dream. I let my life be happy. I let my life be like a good dream. Wonderful. If we could just breathe into all that. We'll notice all this goodness, all this peace. Wonderful. And if we could take a moment and let's indeed breathe in like it's your first breath. And maybe they are already. Maybe we close our eyes for a moment. And let's make the choice to open them and see for the first time, like it's the first time. So if we could see those two actions, very simply, we're consciously breaking any trance, any idea that we're trapped, we're stuck, or struggling. Let's just release all those ideas. Let's very simply just breathe into the goodness that is here, and the love that is here, and the joy that is here. So we'll just breathe into that. Wonderful. And if we could just breathe in, and between you and Archangel Ariel, if we could speak a little bit louder than we're used to, perhaps, if we could just say out loud the word good, and just saying that between you and Ariel, like volleyball, like bouncing back and forth, or badminton, it's very simply volley back and forth that word between you and Archangel Ariel. Good, good, good. Wonderful. So we'll just breathe into that. And we'll notice good is prevailing, goodness being present, and great opportunities being here right now. So we'll just breathe into all that. And we'll note and notice all the peace available, all the goodness present, and all the love active in your life. So if we could feel and notice this space, we don't need to do anything besides breathe and be aware. And we'll feel all the goodness that is present. To Jane, to Virginia, to Ariel, we'll say out loud, thank you. And we'll notice that goodness and greatness is here. And to ourselves, we'll say out loud, thank you. And to ourselves, we'll say out loud, good job. And thank you, Mother, Father, God. Thank you, Archangels and Ascended Masters, for all the goodness, all the peace, all the grace, all the love, and all the joy that is here for each of us right now. Thank you to the angelic realm, the elemental realm, our ancestors, spirit guides, animal guides, and guardian angels. We thank you for this opportunity for peace, for love, for joy. We release the recklessness of life. We see the order, and we choose not to, so much to stay on the road, but to notice that there are many paths. And we know that our own path exists, and we are celebrated and accompanied in every step of the way. And we celebrate all this goodness right now. And with generosity, with peace, with love, with joy, and with honor, we quite simply and lovingly ask for this or something better right now in all directions of time. And so it is.